I had made up my mind. I was going back. The house my father left behind still stood on the quiet edge of town, just off an old country road that hadn't seen new pavement in decades. I packed my few belongings into a single duffel bag, clothes, toothbrush, my mother's old locket, and left my apartment without looking back. The bus ride there felt endless. The closer I got, the heavier my chest felt, like the air itself was thick with memories. When the driver finally dropped me off near the old estate, I stood still for a long moment, just staring. The house looked almost alive in the moonlight. Its massive frame loomed over the empty land, its windows dark and blank like blind eyes. The paint had long peeled away, revealing gray wood beneath, and the front porch sagged slightly under the weight of time. Even from a distance, I could smell dust, that heavy, stale scent of things forgotten. When I opened the front door, the hinges let out a deep, drawn-out creak, like a sigh from something ancient. Inside, it was dead silent. Not a bird, not even a rat. Just silence, and the faint hum of the wind slipping through cracks in the walls. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghostly curtains. The furniture was draped in white sheets, yellowed with age. My shoes left prints on the dusty floor as I stepped further in. It looked like no one had lived there in 10 years, maybe more. But I didn't care. I wasn't here for nostalgia or sentiment. I just needed somewhere to stay, a roof, a bed, a fresh start, no matter how haunted by the past it might be. I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. I spent hours sweeping away the cobwebs, wiping down the windows, and pushing the heavy furniture aside. The house was massive, too big for one person. It could easily hold an entire extended family, maybe two. There were staircases on both sides, long hallways filled with closed doors, and mirrors clouded with dust that reflected distorted images of me as I moved past them. Cleaning the whole place by myself was impossible, so I focused on what mattered. I cleaned 3 rooms, 1 for me and 2 extra, just in case a friend ever decided to visit. By the time I finished, my arms ached, and sweat glued my hair to my forehead. But for the first time in months, I felt a small spark of relief. The house didn't feel so heavy anymore, or maybe I was just too tired to notice. I sat on the floor, back against the wall, and whispered to myself, "I'm home." That night, I decided to celebrate. I didn't have much, but I made a small dinner, instant noodles, canned soup, and a cheap bottle of whiskey I'd picked up on the way. "Freedom deserves a toast," I said aloud, raising the bottle toward the empty room. I laughed, even though it sounded strange in the silence. I drank until my head felt light, the world swaying just a little. I danced by myself in the middle of the dusty living room, music playing from my phone. It felt reckless and stupid, but freeing. Because for once, no one was watching. By the time I stumbled to the bedroom, I was half drunk, half dreaming. I collapsed onto the bed, the mattress surprisingly soft despite the age. I didn't even bother turning off the small lamp beside me. That night, I slept like a child. No nightmares. No thoughts. Just deep, dreamless rest. When morning came, sunlight filtered through the curtains, soft and golden. I stretched, smiling to myself. For the first time in a long while, I didn't wake up anxious. I felt okay. I decided to make myself some tea, something warm to start the day. Still humming, I left my room and walked toward the kitchen. But then I stopped dead in my tracks. My breath caught in my throat. The hallway was different. The walls I had scrubbed clean just yesterday were now covered in thick layers of cobwebs again, stretching across the ceiling in corners like the house had grown them overnight. The floor was coated in dust, heavy, gray dust, as if no one had stepped there in years. For a moment, I thought maybe I was imagining it. Maybe I was still drunk. I blinked hard, rubbed my eyes, but nothing changed. I stepped forward slowly, my shoes leaving new prints on the dusty floor. The air felt heavier, colder. "What the hell?" I whispered. The kitchen was worse. Cobwebs dangled from the cabinets. Dust clung to the sink, the counter, even the kettle I had cleaned and placed neatly on the stove. I reached out to touch it, and my fingers came away covered in thick gray powder. It was as if someone, or something, had undone all my work. "Maybe there are a lot of spiders," I said aloud, forcing a weak laugh. My voice trembled. But deep down, I didn't believe that. The air felt too still, too deliberate, like the house was breathing, reclaiming itself. I could almost hear a faint whisper in the walls, though maybe it was just the wind. Still, I wasn't ready to give in to fear. I shook my head, rolled up my sleeves again, and grabbed a broom. "Fine," I muttered. "You win this round." I started cleaning all over again, every sweep of the broom echoing through the quiet house. But this time, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. And every so often, when I looked up, I could swear I saw the shadows move, just slightly, as if something in the house was watching me, waiting for me to notice.